The Gatorade Cup Series heads back to a short track, this time Martinsville, Virginia, for the Tums 500. And on the pole, for the second race in a row, the 18 of Riley Sampson, 2's outside the 22 of Jack Marshall. Then 30 of Nathan Stapleton, 4th is Carter Friesen, and rounding out the top 5, Eli Bright. Then 6th is TJ Henley, trying to rebound from a horrible race at Bristol. And 7th you have James Dablito, 8th is Carson Bowers, and 9th you have Tyler Fink and Max Johnson rounds out the top 10. For the rest of the field, there's your points leader Luigi Octavo with Steve Larker, 2's outside. They have Jeff Bryant in the 5 with Cole Luigi in the 42. Then there's Diego Yepes in the 1. He won this race last season. Let's get back to victory lane with Johnny Gardner, 2's outside. They have Steven Taylor and Griffin Lynn, along with Justin Zeidel and Larry Bouchard Jr. They have Patrick Smith and Max Anderson. Sebastian Coughlin, who won last race for his second win of the season, with Steve Morgan, 2's outside. They have Dale Lightning and Stephen Baker, Colton Yo and Isaac Nichols. Then there's Joe Jefferson, Derek Hamill, Benny Watson, and Jonathan Buford. They have Jay Jefferson, Taylor Brian Price, John Gambit, and Jonathan Rains. Then there's Alexander Roan, Trey Rainey, Luke Rainey, and Jake West. And in the final, we have Danny Lloyd in the 19 with Jake Gowen in the 11, 2's outside. And that is your 42 car starting lap for 75 laps here at Martinsville. Let's go down track sign, get the command to get this thing started.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, take a nice big deep breath so you give your seatbelt a tug. Double check your steering wheel. Sit back, relax, get a nice pace, nice rhythm, and let's go out there and have a good day, all right, bud?
Time for another short track race in the Gatorade Cup Series. 75 laps at Martinsville. Pace car in, Sampson and Marshall on the front row. To the green flag they come. Sampson leads us. We're racing at Martinsville, and a car is blowing up. It's the 6 of Carson Bowers. We barely took the green flag and already issues for the 6 of Bowers. That really slowed up some cars, but the top lane, some cars got down low. Side by side, Stapleton comes underneath. The caution comes out though as Sampson led us back. Derek Hamill into a big crash, big melee in the turn number 4. The 6 may have been trying to get down pit road. Joe Jefferson about 3. Stuart Haas cars involved. Jay Jefferson, Hamill. There's Trey Rainey, second in points. So yellow is out. Sampson led us back. Let's see what happened. Caution number 1 is out for a big crash in turn number 3. Jay Jefferson, one of them involved, along with many others. This all-star 6 trying to get down to pit road right there. You can see him in the middle of the racetrack. He gets into the line right there, but then he has a hold down low. He turns a left. Nichols has to check up the 41. Joe Jefferson gets to him. Hamill gets into him. And around goes the 55. It's going to take a hard look into the inside wall right here. The 33 then gets hit by the 4. The 32 goes up into the 41. Jay Jefferson gets clipped. And that's on from there. So many cars involved then as the track is now clogged. Jake Galloway gets into the 4. The 14 gets into the 11. There's the 77 and the 2 getting through. A pretty big crash here for turn number 3, lap number 1 here in the Tums 500 at Martinsville. It's always crazy here when we come to a short track, and Derek Hamill taking a hard nose hit into the inside wall, and then track getting clogged right there. And I would say about 5, 6, 7, 8 cars got damaged in this crash. Some cars trying to get off the banking, and they do. So it looks like every car should be able to continue on. Some, though, might be out from that. Sampson lets back in the 18 car. See, is your race there, and he leads back to the green flag. 1 lap to go green here at Martinsville. We're coming back here in lap number 7. So from that crash, Jonathan Rains out along with Derek Hamill. And the 6 was a gearbox issue, so he's out of the race. Danny Lloyd 2 laps down. 38 cars on the lead lap, with Riley Sampson leading them. He's out front. Nathan Stapleton 2nd. Eli Bright 3rd. Jack Marshall 4th. And James Dablito rounding out the top 5 as we restart here in lap number 7. Green flag back on. That 18 got a great jump there. And it's the battle for 3rd. Jack Marshall trying to get back up to the front. He's underneath Eli Bright as the pack really spread out for that start there. And the front of the field really spread out there. The back of the field may have been a little more bunched together, but here's the battle for 3rd. Marshall buries it down to the bottom of Eli Brent, the 88. With the 22 back up to the top 3. Eli going to try and hold on to 4th now. So look at Jack Marshall. He has a run into Nathan Stapleton. And that caution came at a bad time for that 27 car. It looked like he was going to be able to get to the race lead. He was underneath Sampson, the 18. That caution fell and he was not able to get there. Here comes Marshall for a 2nd, though, on Stapleton. He might have it right here. Great run there. Jack Marshall to 2nd. He's propelling off those corners so well, he's going to be looking inside the 18 right here. To turn 1, he gives him a bump at the racetrack. Sampson moves out of the way, and the 22, Jack Marshall, out front, but the 18 fight back at the outside lane. They're still side by side down the back into turn 3. Marshall's car looks pretty good right now and off of the corner. Jack Marshall leads now in the Tums 500. Sampson back to second. Stapleton is third, but now he's going to be pouncing on the 18 for that second position as the 27 looks a little bit faster than the 18. As back here for fourth, Eli Bright is holding up James Dabley on the 10. They almost made some contact. There might be some pushing and shoving here if the 88 doesn't get out of the way of the 10. Back here, Tyler Fink moves past Carter Friesen for the 7th position. TJ Hanley is held in front of his teammate Octavo, as Octavo and Jeff Brighton have battled side by side. Jeff trying to get into the top 10. He does right here. He's up to 10th in the number 5 cars. He tries to move around Octavo, but not quite yet. The 8th with a big run off the top side. He's side by side with him still. As back up front, Marshall still leads. It's still Stapleton in third. And then you have this battle for fourth. The yellow's back out. Yellow number 2 here on lap number 12. Involving in turn number 3. Another big crash. John Gambit goes around against Jake West. And that was after the caution came out. Joe Jefferson also gets some damage. The 15 has some damage as well. Caution number 2 is out here at Martinsville for another crash in turn number 3. Marshall with the race lead. We'll see what happens at this caution. Some more contact made at the back of the field involving even more drivers. Oh, and they wrecked after the fact as well. Racing up inside the top 20, Steve Larker in the 75 up top. 17, Larry Bouchard Jr. down low. And looks like from this angle, the 75 tried to get down pit road. The 17 was down there and spins 70 up into the wall. The 75 goes around. He gets Steven Taylor right here. Code Luigi avoids greatly right there. Griffin Lynn gets by in the 7. And then the 96 of Stephen Baker comes in. He has to slow. And then here comes some other drivers into it. They slow down. But then the 77, he somehow gets turned around in all this mess. As here come the cars accelerating from the wreck. 77 and the 75 make contact. Joe Jefferson gets in the John Gambit. The 77 goes around and gets the 14 West right there. So that's how that secondary incident was caused. Another caution here at Martinsville for the 75 of Steve Larker going around off of the 17 Larry Bouchard Jr. Nothing Bouchard could do though. That 75 just hooked a left trying to get down pit road. Looked like at the last second. And Larry Bouchard Jr.'s had it straight and he couldn't really do anything right there. And Steven Taylor just an innocent bystander, and then John Gambit just an innocent bystander as well. He had nowhere to go, and he comes into it. He had it stopped, and then Joe Jefferson kind of runs him over here trying to get going again, and Jake West, Jefferson's teammate, the unfortunate victim from the 77, getting spun. Jack Marshall in the 22 led us back to the stripe. He stays out on the racetrack, and he'll be your new. He'll stay out front here at Martinsville. We're going back green here in lap number 17. We have a ton of cars that are 1 lap down. So Danny Lloyd's 2 laps down. Galloway, Jefferson, Gambit, Buford, Yepes, Watson, and then you have Price, West, Joe Jefferson, and there's the 34 of Smith, Trey Rainey, the 13 of Steve Morgan, the 3 of Kukulon, the 75 of Larker, the 72 of Rowe, and the 20 of Zidell, all 1 lap down. Stephen Baker, last car in the lead lap in 20 seconds. That many cars on the lead lap here at Martinsville. Jack Marshall's out front. Riley Sampson in second. Nathan Stapleton third. Eli Bright fourth. James Dudley rang out the top 5. We're back racing. Green flag back out. And Stapleton got a pretty good start right there. He's on the back bumper as Sampson. Eli Bright on the back bumper as Stapleton. He holds 4th down as they enter turn 1 and 2. I saw on that restart the 17 almost got spun around Larry Bouchard Jr. They race through 3 and 4. Stapleton goes up the racetrack. Just a little mishap there. Now Baker on pit road, so that leaves more cars 1 lap down. Martinsville is just an interesting racetrack for sure. Lou Jack Tavel, your points leader, stuck up high in the A3 car. They race down the backstretch. Front 5 stay the same. Sampson still trying to hold off Stapleton. So that 27s look just a little bit faster over the long haul. Through 1 and 2. Look at the battle for 4th. Eli Brent, the 88 up top. He's still trying to hold off James Stablito. Stablito this time is positioned down low. He might be able to take it right here. For 4th, the 10 car. He's now up to 4th. The 88 back to 5th. His teammate Max Johnson is up to 6th. 7th is Larry Bouchard Jr. Look at all the damage he has. And 8th, you have Jeff Bright. Code Luigi is 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Lee Jack Table, your points leader. Some of these other drivers back here, they have some pretty heavy damage. I'm surprised they're still in the race and still running as competitive as they are. Of course, the brake checking under yellow here is absurd. And they get all their damage from that. And you can see Stephen Baker with damage. He must have been involved in the pileup after the fact. As Jack Marshall continues to lead, he took it from Sampson, has never looked back. And Sampson's still trying to hold off Stapleton. It's just a little bit faster, I think, than the 18. I think if the 27 get by the 18, it could be a battle between the 22 and the 27. But for now, the 18's just holding off that 27, really holding them back as to what they can do and try and get by that 22. Stablito's up to 4th. Eli Bright maybe holding up his teammate Mac Johnson. That's the battle for 5th. That's 200 Motorsports teammates. Then 7th is Larry Bouchard Jr. Luigi's 8th. Now Luigi Acteo up to 9th, and Jeff Bright is back to 10th. But some of these drivers have some pretty good days, on days where maybe they thought they weren't going to be as good as they were. And Marshall looks like that car is pretty fast right now, but still tons of time left. We're not even halfway through the race. See Sampson right there in the 18, running a higher lane, getting a good run off the corner. It's back there, that battle for 5th, raging on. Eli Bryant, the 88, trying to hold off Max Johnson, the 24. Those two are teammates. Hopefully they play like they are teammates and they don't take each other out. It's back there, Luigi Acteo moving forward in the A3 cars, moving past Luigi in the 42 to gain a spot up to the 8th position. Caution is back out. Yellow number 3 is out here, and it's involving on the front stretch. Looks like it may have been Johnny Gardner, maybe the 15 Taylor Brian Price has some pretty heavy damage as well. Caution number 3 out at Martinsville. Jack Marshall leads us back 51 laps to go, and Taylor Brian Price, one of them involved in the 15 car, his day is done. This wreck all-star, Johnny Gardner and Isaac Nichols racing hard here for position. Gardner gives the 48, bump up the track, then they make contact, so they come off at 4, and around goes the 48 into the inside wall hard. 43 hits him, and then they come back up the racetrack, and Taylor Brian Price is full speed coming into this crash right here, as the 43 is already getting recorrected, going the right way. Here comes Taylor Brian Price, is going to hit the 43 hard, and it's a pretty heavy left front damage that's going to take the 15 out of this race. That's why caution number 3 was called. 3 cars involved in a crash here as they came off of turn number 4. Johnny Gardner and Isaac Nichols the first go around, then Taylor Brian Price coming at the end, getting the worst of it. There's contact, around they go, and here comes the 15 into it, and Taylor Brian Price is going to have basically nowhere to go, but he had a lot to go on the top side, and right there, pretty hard damage there. Jack Marshall did not want to see that. He was pulling away to a pretty good lead, but now he's going to be stacked up with these drivers. He's on pit road, and I believe everyone should be on pit road. They could probably make it from here. And you can see all the cars on pit road. I think Car Friesen is a lap down. Maybe not, though. Maybe they are on the lead lap trying something different here. Yeah, the 38's on the lead lap, and maybe some others are there staying out. We'll see what these drivers do. Probably 4 tires to these machines. It looks like it's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires for all these drivers on pit road. We'll see if the 22 can beat the 18 off. And Marshall leaves the pits with the race lead. Riley Sampson will get out in 2nd, 8th, Stapleton in 3rd, and it looks like James Stablito in the 4th position. Larry Bouchard Jr. 5th, Luigi Acteo is 6th without a hood, and Eli Bright in 7th. I don't know how Acteo got all that damage, probably from all that brake checking under yellow. These drivers are going to fall lap down as well. So with this pit strategy happening, up front, Carter Friesen and Griffin Lynn, some others have stayed on the racetrack. They'll be your race leaders once we get back green. Front 4 stay on the racetrack once we get back to the green flag. 15:37 retired Colton Yeo and Taylor Brian Price. And that leaves us with 19 cars on the lead lap. Carter Friesen, Griffin Lynn, TJ Hanley, and Isaac Nichols did not come down the pit lane. Jack Marshall on back, came down, took 4 tires. As we're back racing green flag, let's say these front 4 do. Have they come down pit an earlier time, and have they played it right? Have they played the field strategy right? Lynn tried to get underneath Friesen right there, couldn't get it done. There's Nichols right there, and then they have a whole bunch of lap cars in between them, and there's the 18 of Sampson. There's Marshall just in front of him making ground up. Sampson gets moved out of the way. There's Stapleton, Stablito battling. There's Acteo and Bouchard battling. There's Luigi and Eli Bright battling. So all these drivers battling hard for positions inside the top 10 as Marshall trying to get up here and get back to the race lead. He has fresher tires. He sees 4th place Isaac Nichols in front of him. 3rd place Hanley, and then there's 2nd and 1st right here as Carter Friesen leads Griffin Lynn. And Sebastian Gukla on the 3 trying to get back on the lead lap in the 20th position. And he can race his way back up there. It looks like he's trying underneath the 7 car of Griffin Lynn. That 2nd place runner, but couldn't get there. Couldn't stay down there. And Steve Larker's 21st. There's 22nd Patrick Smith, Trey Rainey, and then there's Jack Marshall in the 22 car. Trying to move up to the front. Stabolito making up some great gains right here as he gets by the 18 of Sampson. Actevo's 8th. Luigi is 9th. Stapleton back to 10th. And he's going to be trying to battle with Larry Bouchard Jr. Back here, Jeff Bright, Mac Johnson, 2 teammates, 12th and 13th. Max Anderson just moves to 14th as Eli Brent, the 88, starting to fade backwards. He's on the outside lane, not where you want to be. Herb Martin, so he's trying to get down front. Tyler Fink can't get that done. It's another position going backwards. And Alexander Rowe is a lap car along with the 13. Then I believe the 2 is the next car in the lead lap in the 17th position. So the 88 is falling all the way back to 16th as he started just restarted around 8th position. Look at all the cars up here, how crazy it is. Jack Marshall's under fire from James Stablito now in the 10 car. That 10 a little bit better. He moves to the inside. Can you keep a fender there down the backstretch for 40 laps to go this time by? Stabolito moves by Jack Marshall to be the first car that has come off a pit road with 4 fresh tires. So Stabolito has to try and get up here and get by those 4 in front of him if he wants to have a shot. Sampson drives underneath Jack Marshall. He saw that whole opening, and for 6, Sampson grabs it from Marshall in the 22 car. And back there in 8th, Octavo, Code Luigi in a battle. Luigi trying to get by Octavo, but gets a little loose into the corner. There Bouchard Jr. gets by the lap car, Joe Jefferson. Pez's lap car. Jeff Bright's 11th. Stapleton back to 12th. Johnson 13th. Anderson 14th. Eli Bright moves back up to 15th. So he gets around the 21 of Tyler Fink. Back here for 9th, Code Luigi in the 42. Under fire from the 17th, Larry Bouchard Jr. Bouchard firing up to the front here. So he moves by Code Luigi to move further into the top 10, up to now 9th for that 17 car. Code Luigi back to 10th, just trying to stabilize there, get a top 10. Look back up front, we haven't really been looking at these race leaders, but Carl Friesen has put a gap on Griffin Lynn, and TJ Hanley is close in just a little bit in the 23 car. He's 3rd, just trying to get up here and race these drivers. He has a win this season at Auto Club. Wouldn't hurt if he got another win, though. For 4th, Stabolito on 4 fresh tires. Isaac Nichols with some more worn tires up here, and that's for the 4th position. Stabolito puts that 40 up the racetrack, and Nichols is going to have to let that 10 go right here. And James Stabolito now up to 4th in the 10 with 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Can he get up and get by the next 3, though, is the question. He has a run on to Steve Larker right here in the 75, moves to his inside. He's going to try and clear right here. There's one lap car between he and 3rd place TJ Hanley. Then they have another lap car of Sebastian Cookline between the 7 and the 38. As the 38 got held up here from the 43, and Griffin Lynn, last season's champion, moves around to the inside. He's your new race leader here at Martinsville. Griffin Lynn gets by Carter Friesen. And Friesen's not going to be too happy with Johnny Gardner there. He moves to the 43 up the track a little bit, and Friesen now going to try and set sail back for that 7 car, but Lynn's going to try and get out of here. Now can Cookline get by the 3? Remember, Cookline's 1 lap down the 30. Currently in the 20th position. TJ Hanley is 3rd. Stabolito on 4 fresh tires is 4th. And he's right behind that 23. He has a run onto him. He's run some pretty good lap times too. Stabolito is 19.83 last time to TJ Hanley's 20.101. So that 10 is definitely faster and closing in. And last time Hanley ran 20.059. Stabolito with a 20.053. And that 10's around the bumper of that 23. So you gotta know he's probably faster than just going the same speed as the 23 because he's stuck behind him. We'll see if he can somehow try and find a way around Hanley, as Larry Bouchard Jr. has made some good gains back up under the back bumper, the 18 and the 22, and he's bringing Code Luigi with him. Jay Jefferson caught in the pitting glitch, so he'll just be going on and off of pit road. Hanley holding off that 10 pretty well. Stabolito can't really get a run to his inside. He's trying to get him off a 4 here. He got a good run. See if he can take it to the inside or not. I think he's going to stay behind him. 31 laps to go. He's wearing that 23 out, though. Looking to his inside here as they come off of 2. They make some contact. That 10 falls backwards. Back there, Sampson and Nichols in the battle for 5th. Sampson, remember, came up here and got 4 fresh tires. Well, Nichols on the same strategy are front 3 with a little bit more worn tires. And Riley Sampson moves into the top 5. He's up to 5th. Nichols kicked back to 6th. Larry Bouchard Jr. has found his way up to 7th. Jack Marshall's kicked back to 8th. Code Luigi's 9th. And Jeff Bright just passed the 83 of Octavo to move himself into the top 10. And now Bouchard moves past Nichols to get to 6th. And now Bouchard looking to get to 5th. He gets underneath that 18 of Sampson. What a great move there by Larry Bouchard Jr. Got about 3 positions there. Larry Bouchard Jr. up into the top 5 here at Martinsville. Jack Marshall gets by Isaac Nichols to move himself up to 7th. So Nichols now back to 8th. Code Luigi 9th. Oh, almost some contact there. Jack Marshall sideways underneath Riley Sampson. They keep their car straight. And Marshall almost gave up 7th right there as the 48 got to his back bumper. Some great racing here. Is now the 17 trying to set sights on the 10. Remember, those are the first 2 that have come down pit road and got 4 fresh tires on it. Stabolito's still stuck behind Hanley here. As look at Sampson back on the 17 for 5th. These guys balance side by side. And Sampson gets back to the 5th position. Larry Bouchard Jr. back to 6th. He has a hole underneath the 22 and he can get there. Isaac Nichols for 8th. Code Luigi is 9th. Jeff Bright is 10th. They have Octavio Points there in 11th. Nathan Stapleton 12th. Max Anderson is 13th. Luke Rainey is 14th. Eli Bright is 15th. Then in 16th, the big battle back here, not of cars. 16th is Dale Lightning. 17th is now Max Johnson. Tyler Fink is 18th. 19th is Steven Taylor. Those are your lead lap cars here in the Tums 500 at Martinsville, led by Griffin Lynn, the 7th last season's champion, trying to get back to victory lane this season. He's out front with Carter Friesen by him in second. Friesen won this season already at Phoenix. And then third, TJ Henley won All Club. James Stablito trying to get a win. He's 4th. And Jack Marshall now up inside the top 5. He's 5th. Nichols for 6th. In the 48th, there was some smoke as they went into turn number 3. Keep it going straight, though. No yellow. Nichols moves around the 18. He moves back to 6th. Code Luigi going to move to 7th right here as he gets by Sampson and Bouchard. Oh, contact there. Marshall and Nichols in a battle right here sideways. Check the 42 up, and Sampson gets back to the inside of the 42 of Code Luigi. Just like that, the 42 grab position from the 18. He's going to lose a position from the 18, possibly more. So the 5 of Jeff Bright moves to his inside. And now Nichols loses a position in the 48. Luigi trying to get down in front of the 5 of Jeff Bright. He has a run. Can't get down there, though. Yeah, that could have been a big wreck, though, there, as Nichols and Jack Marshall got hooked together and almost crashed. So Code Luigi back to 9th now as Jeff Bright moves way up into the top 7. And Isaac Nichols in the 48 trying to fend off Code Luigi and Larry Bouchard Jr. 3-car battle for the 8th position. Sampson is 6th, Jack Marshall 5th, but they're in a battle side by side as Marshall messed up his braking into turn number 3. Up front here for 3rd, Stablito back on TJ Hanley, and the 7 is getting held up by the 14, Jake West, and can't get by, and Griffin Lynn has had now the 3 on his back bumper for the last few laps. We're coming to 20 to go this time by, as Stablito moves to 3rd right here in the 10. He's going to look for a 2nd here on Carter Friesen. For 2nd, Stablito grabs it. 2-for-1 deal for that number 10 car. 20 laps to go. Does he have time to get down to the 7? So Carter Friesen kicked back to 3rd. TJ Hanley is 4th in the 23 car. And Sampson now in the top 5. Look at the run that the 10 got right there. He's looking for 3rd. Friesen and Hanley. The 23 car trying to get by the 38 here. Oh, he got slow off of 2. Oh, big crash! Watson, Jake West, TJ Hanley involved! Now cars trying to get slowed and get low right here, and they do just that. Yellow is out. Hanley running in the 3rd position gets damage. Griffin Lynn has damage, your race leader. He was one of them that hit Watson, I think. Oh my word. And Stablito is now out front here in the Tums 500 with Carter Friesen 2nd. But now Stablito's slow, as if he has an issue on the 10 car. He has an issue. He's trying to get down pit road, I think. Stopped on the racetrack from the race lead, Stablito. Eli Brett wondering where to go. Stablito now getting it refired. But did he lose the positions that he just had? Now he's still trying to get down pit road, I think. Eli Brett's now stuck on the banking there on the... And now he's on pit road because of that. And your race leaders now Carter Friesen with Riley Sampson in 2nd, Jack Marshall 3rd, Cole Luigi 4th, and Isaac Nichols in 5th. Or is the 10 going to get his positions back? Or will he fall in line behind the 2 of Luke Rainey? Looks like he's going to fall in line. So Stablito from the race lead with an issue. Possibly trying to shut the car off and say, feeling it may have just stalled right there. So as we happen to change this race drastically, it looked like Benny Watson, the 32, one of the first to go around. He got nailed hard. Watson has an issue coming down the front stretch. See right here, it just blows up. The 32 car blows up. And he's now slow spilling oil all over the racetrack. He's trying to get out of the way of the 19 and the 21. The 19 gets by. Tyler Fink still trying to get by. The 32 still blocking him. And now the 32 down low. Gardner gets by barely. The 32 is stopped. Oh, he moves back up onto the racetrack. It gets Griffin Lynn. And then it gets up by the 14 and the 38 and the 23. Cars avoid it getting by down low and whatnot. That's a bonehead move by Benny. I don't know why someone would do that. He's blown up. He had down low. Sure, here, has it down low. The 43 gets by him. And then he turns right into the racetrack. And Griffin Lynn, your race leader, has nowhere to go. Did not expect that at all. And then Jake West had nowhere to go. Carter Friesen, TJ Hanley. Some others come stacking up in. They get slowed. And then the 10 lines back and then had an issue and had stopped. Then the 88 got stopped on the banking because of that. So Stablito loses his race lead because of what happened. He'll restart in the 9th position Up front, it's going to be, I believe, Carter Friesen in the 38 with the race lead. We're going back here in lap number 63, so we don't got much time left, just a little over 10 laps to go. From that crash, Benny Watson, Jake West, Griffin Lynn, and TJ Hanley have all retired. There are now 17 cars in the lead lap, the 3 of Sebastian Coquelin on the tail end of the lead lap. Carter Friesen is out front for this restart, trying to hold on over Riley Sampson in second. Then they have a lap car, Patrick Smith, in between he and third place Jack Marshall. Code Luigi is fourth, and Isaac Nichols rounds out the top 5. Points leader Luigi Activo going to gain points. He's up to 6th. Stapleton 7th, Luke Ray 8th, Stabler kick back to 9th, and Jeff Bright rounds out the top 10. As we go back green here on lap number 63, we're back racing. Carter Friesen with the race lead. Friesen, much like the 3 Coquelin, looking for his second win of the season. Coquelin got it last race at Bristol. And I think Friesen, what he's seeing in his rearview mirror is what he wants to see. The 18 Sampson getting shuffled up high. Friesen has to keep it ahead. That 34 now is 34 car is his teammate, remember. Marshall going to try and drive it underneath Sampson right here for second. That's 22 and 18, side by side. Nichols gets kicked back up top as Luigi Activo moves inside the top 5. Luke Ray up to 6th. Nichols trying to hold off Stapleton for 7th. Now the big question, does Carter Friesen have enough fuel? He has the lead, but does he have enough fuel? 11 laps to go. And do the tires last on that machine? Can Jack Marshall get around? Marshall's had the dominant car here today. Then once pit strategy happened, he kicked himself back to the back of the top 10. Now he's up to 2nd. He has a shot to get by Carter Friesen in the 38 car, as Sampson now moves past the lap car. And here's a battle for 4th. Luigi Activo is moving up towards the front. Activo for 4th on Code Luigi. He gets by him. Can that 42 get down line? He's still on the outside, thinking that A3 is back here. Nathan Stapleton moves around Luke Rainey for 6th. Look back up to the race lead. It's a 3-car breakaway. Friesen leads. Marshall, Sampson. Activo now 4th. He gets by the lap car. Now Nathan Stapleton breaks away into the top 5. He moves past Code Luigi. And now Max Anderson going for that 6th position. But Code Luigi trying to get down low right here. He couldn't. 42 stuck behind the lap cars up front. Jack Marshall is long gone. He just got by Carter Friesen. Marshall, your new race leader here at Martinsville, with under 10 laps to go. But he has the 38 stuck by, or the 38 is in front of the 18. The 18 stuck behind him with better tires, and he goes off the racetrack. Activo for 3rd here. Points leader trying to extend his points lead big time. He's moving to 3rd here on the front stretch. Nathan Stapleton could look for 4th right here in the 27 car as he moves underneath. Stapleton for 4th. Might be looking for 3rd. He drove it in, getting that A3. Max Anderson trying to get up into a top 5 spot. In the 47, trying to get by Riley Sampson in the 18. But up front, Friesen's not letting that 22 get away. The 3 might be affecting the air in that 22. And with 6 laps to go, Carter Friesen is back. Stapleton 3rd. Waiting for these two to have some sort of altercation. 4th is now Activo. Max Anderson is 5th. The battle's for 6th as Code Luigi and Riley Sampson are in a side-by-side battle. Move Code Luigi up to 6th. In the 42 car, Sampson kicked back to 7th and still in the outside lane. Try and get down in front of that 10, though. See how Jack Marshall does here. Oh, he goes up high. Bad entry to the corner. As back here, Max Anderson is flying through the field. Just got by the A3 and the 27. And he's up to 3rd with 4 laps to go. And he's bringing Code Luigi with him in the 42. See if Max Anderson can do anything right here. He has a run onto Carter Friesen possibly. Anderson all the way up to 3rd. Stapleton kicked back to 4th, but Code Luigi drives underneath that 27 car. Luigi up to 4th now. Where have these two come from? Anderson and Code Luigi in a flying few laps. They have 3 laps left. Can Marshall hang on? Can Anderson trying to get around Carter Friesen have to run at that 22 car? We'll see. They've only got 2 laps though, and I don't think they're going to have it. They only have 1 mile left. It's the battle for 3rd as Code Luigi moves around Max Anderson. This could be a battle for 2nd though, a big battle. Jack Marshall has 2 laps left. Does Johnny Gardner play a factor in the 43? He's up ahead. 22 still stuck behind the 3. We're coming to the white flag this time. We've seen faux finishes here at Martinsville in the past. Are we setting up for another one? Marshall goes up the racetrack. Friesen and Code Luigi closing out the white flag one more time around Martinsville. Half a mile left for Jack Marshall to pick up a victory, but Carter Friesen looks for a win, and Code Luigi trying to get by that 38 to try and set up to get a victory. Down the backstretch of the race, Marshall out front, Friesen second, Luigi's third. Through 3 and 4, it's going to be Jack Marshall going back to Gary Cup Series victory lane, rounds off a 4. Marshall wins the Tums 500. And you think there's one lap more, how that could have been affected by the 43 of Johnny Gardner. But Jack Marshall gets the victory over Carr, Friesen, and Code Luigi here in the Tums 500. Let's go check the finishing results. Here are the finish results from the Tums 500 at Martinsville. There were 5 caution flags for 20 laps, and 6 lead changes among 5 different drivers, as Jack Marshall brought home number 1, leading the most laps, 26 of the 75 laps. Carter Friesen, close to his laps, led total. He led 24 of the 75 laps to end up second. Cole Luigi came out nowhere at the end to finish third. Your points lead, Luigi Activo ends up fourth and extends his points lead, and Max Anderson rounds out the top 5. Riley Sampson, your pole sitter, he ends up 6th, leading 8 laps. Nathan Stapleton 7th, Jeff Bright 8th, Stephen Taylor in 9th, and Luke Rainey rounds out the top 10. There's your top 20. Dale Lightning just outside the top 10 and 11th. Great rebound for him. How about Hendrick Motorsports, though? 8th, 12th, 13th. And they had Eli Brett up there for most of the race until he got stuck on the curb in turn 3. Sadly, ends up 1 lap down in 17th with some issues. Look down 21st to 40th. As you can see that 32 cars finished running, it looks like. Actually, 33 finished running, as Jay Jefferson, though, was 26 laps down, couldn't gain any positions. There's the rest of your field. Now let's go look at the point standings. Here are points after Martinsville. The wild race and Luigi Activo keeps that points lead, 5 top 10s on the season, 2 more than anyone else, 4 top 5s, 2 more than anyone else. He has over Riley Sampson by 172 points. Sampson is second. Carr Friesen up to 30. He's had some consistent races lately. Luke Ray up to 4th after having some consistent races as well. And Sebastian Klukan down to 5th, but still 2 wins. Trey Rainey down to 6th. TJ Henley down to 7th. Max Anderson up to 8th. Nathan Stapleton up to 9th. And Dale Lightning back up into a chase spot. He's in 10th. There's your top 20. Larry Bouchard Jr., Daytona winner, 11th. He would have one of the wildcard spots currently, as the other wildcard spot would go to Taylor Bryan Price in 12th, but still tons of time left. Any of these drivers can get victories and set themselves up. Now look down 21st to 40th. Danny Lloyd, Isaac Nichols, some bad races. Jack Marshall with that victory after 25th in the points, trying to get into the top 20 to use that win as a wild card. Some other drivers that are moving up in points. Mac Johnson, Code Luigi jumped up from about 40th up to 29th. Exactly what his team needed. Some other teams not having what they need, though. Carson Bowers, Johnny Gardner had bad races. Yepes, Jefferson, Stabolito, West, Bright, Rains, Hamill, Watson. And Watson having a horrible season. It's a nightmare season for that 32 team. 4 DNFs in 6 races. Not the season for the 32 team. They're just going to try and turn around and get victories now. So the next race, we keep it on the short track swing. We go to Iowa for the Advanced Auto Parts 400. I'll see you guys then.